Oh, baby, I know it's Valentine's Day, and I got something you all are gonna love. It's your favorite thing of all time. I'm talking about Datacrons! What? You guys don't like Datacrons? Well, you better! Actually, no, I think we got some actually good news. It depends which way you look at it. I think it's good news because it looks like we don't have a lot of broken stuff in this upcoming Datacron set cycle. CG late at night decided to post some Datacron stuff in regards to the next set. Here's what you need to know. Yeah, this guy back here, he is going to get a nice boost. Dash Rendar, Sana Staros, Zori Bliss, a lot of resistance, and even some rebel stuff. But overall, if you're someone that's engaging Datacrons just on a minute level, there's really not a great bang per buck level 3. If you're going to get the really good stuff, it's going to come into level 6 and the level 9s as well. So we're going to break all this stuff down. And also, don't worry. They finally posted the feats for the conquest that was just the other week. In case you... This is kind of a weird post. A little late on that. But anyways, let's get into this. There's a few things that are really sticking out in this. Droid Smuggler Resistance. It's going to be an all light side oriented Datacron set. We're coming off of 2 dark side Datacron sets. But that doesn't mean you can't take advantage of the Droid Smuggler Resistance tag. You can still have dark side, but it's just a level 3. You can't take advantage of if you're using dark side teams. Only light side stuff. But overall, I'm feeling okay about this. There's nothing that seems incredibly broken. Of course, there's gonna be some crazy stat stuff. You got the armor, you have max health, armor penetration and stuff like that, extra potency, tenacity. At least there's no dodge. All right, there's no dodge. Mostly the max health and armor penetration are probably gonna be the more nasty ones they have, especially armor penetration with some of this droid stuff. Oh man, that could be some heavy hitting stuff. And then in regards to our characters that are getting bonuses, we have Shorty, 3PO, and Chewie. Basically kind of taking R2D2's kit away. It's kind of interesting. IG-11T-34, L337K2 so. And even though there might be nothing specific for Grievous, the level 3 bonus is going to be really good for Grievous. And stay tuned till tomorrow. Holy cow, you're going to be blown away by what Grievous can do now. Smuggler, Sana Staros, Kira Young Han, Vander Chewie, Enfys Nest, and Resistance. We got to talk about Zori Bliss, man. Don't sleep on this. She's nuts. It's unfortunate you can't take advantage of a level 9 Datacron with Lodestar Zoris, but well, we know how that works. Rose Seeker, Resistance Pot, Resistance Hero Finn, Resistance Hero Poe as well. But let's get into the actual ability descriptions here. So on the level 3, which is usually what I'm looking for you guys, especially who don't really want to engage with Datacrons, but sometimes there's amazing bang per buck, turn meter on a level 3, cooldown reductions, something of that sort. Nothing quite there. It seems a little bit recycled. Whenever an ally gains a buff, they recover 2% health protection. Whenever an ally is inflicted debuff, they gain 2% critical chance. Blah. Whoa, but this is interesting. Dash Rendar, anyone? Dash Rendar, Shorty, Sana Staros. They're gonna like this. Whenever allies critically hit enemies more than 4 times during their turn, they get 5% critical damage, which is stacking until the end of the battle. So not quite Dash Rendar's Datacron, but still pretty good. So if you're running something like, you know, maybe OG Chewie that has an AoE, 3PO and Chewie's got an AoE, you know, thinking of some of those other light sides that have some solid AoE splash effect type of damage, stacking critical damage ain't gonna be bad. I can only imagine what Dash Rendar is gonna look like if you let the battle go on a little too long. And the other stuff is a bit meh. Whenever allies inflict a debuff on an enemy, they deal damage to that enemy equal to 2% of the target enemy's max health. Okay. And then whenever an ally gains tenacity up, they gain 10% protection and bonus stacking for 2 turns. So again, you guys know my opinion on Datacrons. I'd rather they just not exist, but I guess the next best thing is that they're just not that crazy. So unfortunately, the downside is though, level 3, if you want to engage in some level, there's nothing like crazy budget for this. So you can look at it as a good or bad thing. You don't have to worry about them, but at the same time, you know, it'd be nice if they had something good. The good stuff doesn't really kick in until you get to the level 6s for the faction, and then of course the character bonuses as well. So here's what I'm looking at with Grievous. Take a look at this. So keep in mind, the level 3 is only for light side, but the droid faction Smuggler, it can apply to dark side as well. So don't forget about that. People always seem a little bit confused on that. This can apply to Grievous 100%. At the start of each droid ally's turn, inflict target lock for 1 turn, which can't be resisted to a random enemy that does not have it. What does that mean with Grievous specifically? More target lock means more turn meter, more anti-attack out of turns against a variety of teams out there. Whenever a droid ally uses the basic ability against an enemy target lock, recover 10% protection, 5% turn meter. So B1 battle droid's always going to be assisting They don't really have any protection to regain, but 5% Terminator is going to help B1 get tons of turns and especially outpace Grievous so they can keep their stacks of battalion high. That's going to be pretty nice. But of course, there's other target lock things. You know, with Shorty, there's a lot of target lock droids in there. Being able to activate all those unique abilities of IG-88, Probe Droid, whatever the case might be. Kind of nice. The other ones are kind of, you know, whatever. You know, we got some, when you inflict stagger or stun, bonus damage equal to 35% of that target's max health. Not a ton of droids that stun, but you know, Grievous gets stun on one of his abilities, you know, so R2 gets stun on a basic, for example. Whenever debuff expires at an enemy, this could also be nice for Grievous. Allies gain 2% Terminator and doubled if that debuff was dispelled by an enemy. So Grievous is all about Terminator train capability. You gotta get that target lock on and you want to get rolling. This could help out. Retribution on droids. That sounds a little scary. I worry about BT counterattacking, Grievous counterattacking, a whole separatist team counterattacking. So Retribution, we kind of see that right now in the couple sets of Jabba, Supreme Leader Kyle Ren. So again, you know, they're recycling a lot of old stuff. Another droid one. Whenever, this is actually probably great for B1 too with Grievous. Whenever allies target another ally with an ability, so B1 healing up someone with their second or first special, they're gonna get 5% defense, max health, max protection offense, which is stacking. So B1 keep giving Grievous max health increases. Yikes, kind of scary. And at the start of at the end of their turn, allies cover 50% protection if they inflicted at least 5 debuffs that turn. That's kind of tricky to hit. Shorty can maybe hit that for sure, but probably nothing great for Grievous. And whenever a debuff expires on an enemy, you get 2% potency and tenacity. Nothing special, but really that unresistible target lock, Terminator gains, could be nice. I think Retribution's also could be good. And that targeted max health, defense, protection, offense increases. When the Datacron gets released, it's going to come with this next conquest that's coming on Monday. That's when we can start farming it. We'll have maybe a more in-depth spreadsheet guide and everything. Smugglers. And, you know, when you look at Smugglers, just look at some of the big names there. Sana Staros, Younghan Vander Chewy, Enfys Nest. Jeez, that's going to be a little annoying with some of the stuff that we have here. A variety of other things out there. This Smugglers have a lot of use. And again, it can apply to dark side Smugglers too. This is good. The Dasher and Dari one, even Sana Staros. Whenever a Smuggler ally has less than 100% Terminator and they gain bonus Terminator, they gain 2% critical damage, which is stacking for the rest of the encounter. That's going to be huge for Sana Staros, but also other Smugglers like Dash and Dar. A lot of critical damage ramping here. So be careful. Some big hits if the battle goes on too long. Inflict stagger or stun, so kind of the same thing like the droids. We got the stagger stun being 35% max health damage. The debuff expiring being turn meter gains. The retribution, also the same thing. So when you target somebody, you get 5% defense, max health, protection, offense. And then you have the 50% protection recovery, and then the potency and tenacity. So the only different thing here is the constant stacking critical damage, which is going to have a lot of use. But of course, you can probably find some other things to get in regards to some of these other stats that might be beneficial. They get all those max health increases. Oh man. And then resistance. So another good thing about this set, no Galactic Legend Datacrons, which is the way it should be. Galactic Legends don't need Datacrons. It should be for the lower tier teams in the game if it needs to exist in the first place. But nonetheless, think Zori, resistance heroes, even Rey. Keep that in mind here. When a resistance ally is critical, they gain 100% critical avoidance, 100% critical chance. It's not crazy, but if you think about especially Zori, I got to show you guys my win record of Zori. Holy cow, your minds be blown away here. Being able to mitigate damage is going to be great for Zori, keeping him alive as long as possible. And then the other usual stuff, stagger, stun, dealing bonus damage on him, extra Terminator for debuffs that are expiring on him. That could be great. For example, Zori, Finn lead, lots of extra Terminator games when those exposes are being utilized. When they go away, you hit them, they go. Extra Terminator for you. Retribution on Rey teams could be a little annoying to deal with. Galactic Legends Rey, when she targets someone with the lifeblood, she can feed over extra max health, protection, offense to herself and the other one. And then on top of that, we have the protection recovery and the debuff expiring being 2% potency and tenacity. Hold the phone on the resistance. We're going to talk about Zori in a moment. My gosh. I know not a fan favorite character, but it's definitely one of the best teams in Galaxy Heroes right now, for sure, especially non-legendary teams, which is nuts. And here we go to the character modes. Is really where the juicy stuff is, and level 9 is kind of tricky to get, and if you have low gear Zoris, you can't take advantages. Shorty looks kind of scary. She's going to constantly, when she's active, at the start of a Shorty's turn, constantly apply spare parts to all other allies that do not have it. Normally you get spare parts once, and then when somebody gets defeated, the spare parts go away. Now we can keep applying. So think of it like Night Sister Zombie. They just keep reviving if they have spare parts in them. But do note, it can be prevented, so buff immunity can be great. Whenever droid allies gain spare parts, they're going to get 25% offense for the rest of the encounter. Yikes, that's a lot of damage. And when they're defeated, a droid ally, dispel all debuffs on Shorty. Whew. So the droids are getting defeated. They're going to get spare parts to revive them again. They're going to get spare parts again. That's kind of scary. Shorty's already pretty decent. That's going to take it next level. I want to look at 3PO and Chewie. This is actually really good. If you have a Commander Luke team, you're going to want this. Immune to daze for 3PO and Chewie. Great against gas. Makes it a lot more consistent. Or just in general, you don't want your Wookiees being dazed. But check this out. Whenever they use a basic ability, so they're going to be assisting, they gain 5% offense, and all Rebel allies gain protection up 50% for 1 turn. Holy cow, it's great for Sealess. But check this out. I think the devs know R2D2's not getting a lot of action. They just kind of threw in R2's unique ability. Whenever a Rebel ally lands a critical hit, dispel all debuffs on them. That's literally R2D2 baked in with 3PO and Chewie. So now it's kind of like having a team of 6. You kind of have R2D2 secretly there, in the background. Check this out, IG-11. Whenever IG-11 uses an ability, they deal more damage, max of 100% equal to their potency percentage. Woo. This effect will only trigger if IG-11 has more than 0% potency. So it's kind of weird. We don't really imagine IG-11 with a lot of potency. They don't really need it. The Tasty Down's guaranteed to apply. So it's kind of a weird thing. People usually go with health or lots of speed in IG-11. But it sounds interesting, depending on how much damage that's going to look like. It might not be a lot of damage, but, we'll have to wait and see. L337 is basically getting steadfast retribution. When you're attacking L337, she reflects 20% of that damage back onto the attacker. So just like steadfast retribution and conquest. T3 and 4, usually in a shorty squad. Whenever T3 and 4 critically hits an enemy, 10% critical damage, defense penetration offense, stacking up to 200% until the end of the battle. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, of course, if all these other damage ramping things we've talked about, it would have been great if it was going to feed it to the other droids. It's just themselves. K2 is going to get extra max health protection per relic amplifier. So it's basically like the Galactic Legend unique ability where you get more max health protection per relic amplifier and the damage you receive is decreased by 15%. Doesn't seem crazy, but I think K2 is going to be fairly durable. But Sana Staros, man, another good team that came out the past few months. The first time each of the Rebel allies or Sana, even Sana, deal damage more than once, there's a 20% chance to increase all enemy cooldowns. I mean, jeez. That's all there is to AoE. You have Cara Dune AoE. You've got Sana Staros AoE. You got Rebel Officer Organa AoE. That's going to be kind of nasty. Ooh, man. So cool. It's basically Darth Nihilus in that team. So that's kind of scary. I mean, it's a little overkill because in most situations, Sana Staros just runs a circle around the enemy team of Cara Dune, so it might be overly redundant. If they're not even taking turns, what does cooldown increase even matter? Kira, for the smugglers, gets 100% critical chance, and other smuggler allies have half that amount. Okay. Prepared allies are immune to terminator reduction. That's pretty solid. And apply healing immunity for 1 turn when they use the basic ability. And at the start of Kira's turn, Kira gains prepared. And whenever Kira gains prepared, all their smuggler allies gain prepared and 5% turn. So in Dash Rendar, boom, they get prepared right away. Boom, turn meter to everyone. It's a little bit of turn meter, but 5% turn meter on already a fast team could be kind of a big deal. Young Han Solo, Young Hung as some people like to call. It's going to get retribution, 50% health steal, 20% defense, 10 speed, stacking, just more stacking stuff. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy, but with all this armor penetration and other stuff, I expect some good hits coming out of them. This though, this is good. Vandor Chewie. When Vandor gets defeated, they're revived to the 100% health, gain protection over time for 75% for 2 turns, and they take a bonus turn. When there's Vandor and Chewie with Dash Rendar, you generally try to go after Vandor and Chewie first. Well, if you're going after Vandor and Chewie first, they're going to revive themselves, so you better bring some anti-revive type of things. Luckily, this current set, the blue set that we have right now, has anti-revive stuff with the droids, for example, so there should be ways to stop it still. Enfys Nest, how is she going to annoy you? Well, check this out. When Enfys inflicts a debuff, 25% health recovery, max protection, nothing insane, but every little bit of protection, health recovery could annoy you. So remember, tenacity down, healing immunity, stun, unresistible stuns will go a long way. Zori, we're going to talk about Zori here. Zori's already a nutty character. If stealth is dispelled with this Datacron, auto resistance or smuggler ally, they gain a bonus turn. Jeez, that's crazy. That's nuts. While resistance or smuggler allies are stealth, they have 100% health steal, and their basic abilities apply tenacity, making it easy for exposures to apply. Whenever resistance or smuggler ally gains damage immunity or stealth through Zori, They're going to recover 100% health and gain 20% defense, max of 200%. Now, I want to show you this. My Grand Arena this week, we did a little sandbox challenge, and we couldn't use Galactic Legends or Datacrons. Look at this. Even in general, even when there are Datacrons, this team is nuts. So here's my resistance team I put on defense. Grievous got dunked. Imperial Troopers, dunked. Hux, dunked. Random HUD Cartel. But look at this. Iden Versio got dunked on. Holy cow. Wampa, dunked. These two blow my mind. Gas, dunked on. Crazy. And then Palpatine, Mara, Jade, Vader, absolutely dunked on. Finn and Zori are really darn good. It's if you're getting Galactic Legends right, you should just get Zori. It's kind of like the echelon of First Order. Just get it. It's one of the better teams in the game. Non-legendary. It's a bonkers team. It does a crazy amount of things on defense and offense. This is gonna make it even more nutty. We got Rose Tico. I haven't thrown the Omicron on her. I have found myself, as you've seen, I don't really need Rose Tico to get some good performance out of him, but nonetheless, Rose Tico, some people have the Omicron. Check this out. When she uses Dauntless Bravery, inflict expose on a target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Then whenever Roses uses Shock Prod Strike, when the stun expires, this could be scary. She's gonna inflict Death Mark for Winter. I don't know about you, but thinking of Death Mark on the possibility of a Finn team or the Ray team doesn't make me comfortable. And whenever Rose uses the basic ability on an enemy with Expose, dispel all buffs on the enemy and debuffs on herself, recover 100% protection, and gain 5% stacking critical damage, which goes up to 200%. Problem is, you're gonna need a Relic 7 Rose Tico to take advantage of that. Not a lot of Relic 7 Rose Ticos out there. Mostly Relic 5s to handle the challenge Rancor raid. As you know, we need someone to make sure we get that Devour off cooldown. And then the last few things, nothing too nutty here. Resistance Pilot, whenever they evade an attack, critical chance up, critical damage up, nothing too crazy. 50% Tributor is nice though. Then the Resistance Hero, the Handbag Bros, Safari Bros, whatever you like to call them. Whenever another ally recovers protection, Finn can get Foresight, nothing too special. Resistance Hero Poe, whenever Poe attacks on a turn, they recover 20% health and protection. That's gonna be great when Finn calls an assist, or even Zori. So really, again, takeaways: Zori Bliss, Sana Staros, gonna be nuts. 3PO and Chewie, Shorty, General Grievous. Some interesting stuff, but the good news is, doesn't seem like anything too overly broken. Time will tell. You always know how these Datacrons are, but the good thing is no Galactic Legends, and I don't think there's a lot of pressure to feel like you have to get these. But there are a few level 9s and 6s that are like, hopefully you can at least get your Grievous and Rebels up and running. That's gonna wrap it up for today on your late at night Arnold session here. Oh yeah, and don't forget, there's all those conquest feats in case you missed them the first time around when the event was going on. Thanks for stopping by tonight. I'll catch you guys later time. We got a bangerific video. Man, am I excited to talk about it. Like, subscribe, and always remember, join this ever-growing empire, because it's great to be in the Empire today.
Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.